Hey, hello, is it me you're looking for? Good afternoon. Well, good evening to you all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. As y'all can see, the hair is starting to grow back. I had cut all my hair off and then I decided to just shave it off. I shaved it all off. I shaved it all off. Wanted to do something different. So now it's starting to grow back. Starting to grow back. I'll have to start doing edge ups and stuff like that soon. So it's cool. Listen, um, the other day I went live, talked about my book. It was wonderful. I appreciate all y'all that joined me. I appreciate all y'all that viewed my YouTube video and my YouTube live. I look forward to engaging with you all. It is such a wonderful time as I am getting ready to present my book. My book, again, I have is called The Battle Spirit versus Flesh. It's a poetic memoir, and it will be on sale on Amazon October the 5th. I look forward to you purchasing the book so that way you can read it for yourself. I read two poems discussing the poems and what they meant to me on the other day with the other live. It was nice. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go back and listen. I wanted to make sure that I'm doing the very things that I need to do as far as not doing the extra uhs and so because that can alter or make a person look uneducated. I didn't want to look uneducated before you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, my book is The Battle, Spirit versus Flesh. Now, some of you may think that this is going to be this whole spiritual book and trying to preach about all this and that. It's not. It's poetry. It's a poetic memoir. So it's just a journey of my life and how I have matriculated through life and the different poems that I've experienced or that I wrote while experiencing life. So when I experience life, I tend to write poetry or experience of my experiences to exhibit what I have experienced. So the poetry would normally be either about love, it can be about tragedy, it can be about grief, it can be about anything. Sometimes I'm just in the mood to write poetry, sometimes I'm not in the mood to write poetry. It all depends and it changes from time to time. I love to draw and I love to sing. Those are wonderful things that I love to do. But poetry, that is something so dear to my heart. Like, oh, poetry is so dear to me. It is, how can I say? Hmm. It is like water to me. I have to have it. It is so longing within me to have that poetry and display it. And one of the things I used to do in DC, I would do spoken word, and I would sit in places like Bar None, Ellington's on 8th, over there off of U Street in DC, and off of Florida Ave. It was amazing times. I would even be in Richmond, go to poetry slams in Richmond at the Barnes and Noble down there. was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I enjoyed every moment of it. Sometimes I would read my poetry, sometimes I didn't. Um, I enjoyed California too. I didn't really see the poetic feel like what I would see in Virginia and in DC, in Georgia, uh, places like um, Raleigh, Fayetteville that are getting a lot more publicity with the poetry field and getting out there to display poetry. It's not a big field, but it does get a lot of publicity. As if you understand the history of poetry, poetry was always used as a segue to touching on political issues, causing reformations, causing a change in the economy to get the king's attention or to get whoever the ruler is attention, so that way they would understand, hey, look, this is going on, it's not right, and we need to change it. So they would do things and hide little things within their poetry to cause a shift and have people look at things differently, which would also cause boycotting. It would also cause people to speak, people of prominence, people, noblemen, different people would come and speak their poetry, and they would talk about what Shakespeare said, what all these different poets would say, what Langston Hughes brought about. All these things like the Renaissance, the Great Depression, um, so many other great events that have happened throughout life, that poetry has been truly instrumental in getting the attention of others. So I decided to be just like that. There are times when I have had poetry that would be controversial, but I would do it towards relationships. I would do it towards love, and I would do it towards, uh, what would I say? Love, spirituality, questioning spirituality, because those was one of the questions that I would have back in the day. I would have questions about, well, if this is God, then why would this happen? Why would that happen? What are we going through? Why are we dealing with this? Why do people die? Why do people get shot? All this different stuff. And yet you're still sovereign. Like, how is this possible? These are questions that I had back in the day, and I didn't understand, didn't have a true inkling of what spirituality really was. So I would write about it, I would question it. Sometimes I would get an understanding, and then getting that understanding, it would be mind blowing. Like, whoa, all right, I got something for that. So I decided to do that more. I am debating on going the political route with my poetry. It's very, lately, politics has been very touchy, and not everybody can get a hold to it. And it would cause a lot of undue trials, tribulations, undue stuff, more so drawing attention that is not needed, unwanted attention. That I don't need. But if something did happen to need to be addressed, would I write about it? Absolutely, I would. I might even do a spoken word about it. I miss doing spoken words. I miss just coming off the hip and saying spoken word, and then boom, after that, I record it, I write it down, boom, 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 boom. It was all Gucci. With that being said, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate your time. Didn't want to come over here long. Just wanted to talk about the book. Also wanted to see how y'all doing this Friday. It is Fri-Yay. Know some of you are about to get ready to turn up because that's one of the things I used to do when I was younger, in my 20s. Get finished with the work and look, it's time to go find something to get into. Time to go party, time to go somewhere. I need something to do. Now, kind of chilling, relaxing, not doing too much, monitoring what I do, trying to make sure that I keep a respectable personality because I have so much that I am responsible for. I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So, therefore, there's a certain image that I must uphold. I'm also a believer of the Lord Jesus Christ, in which I'm a minister of the gospel. So, therefore, I must also uphold a higher standard in that aspect as well. There are certain things that I can't do, certain things that I don't want to put myself in that predicament. So, I strive to ensure that I'm monitoring what I am doing. I'm monitoring how I act. I monitor how and what I exemplify towards others, because doing that can shift the whole atmosphere, shift the whole personality of a person. If you allow yourself, and thank you for joining me, if you allow yourself to get caught up in minuscule situations, you allow yourself to do that, you'll find yourself in a battle that you don't want to be in. You'll find yourself struggling. You'll find yourself dealing with certain things that will change your whole mindset and your perspective. And you would look at it and be like, why did I do that in the first place? Why am I allowing this to get to me? That's one of the things that literally is what I dealt with in my book that I wrote. This book, literally, I'm focused and I'm looking, I'm like, what in the world? Why am I doing this? Why am I looking at love in this area? Why would I go do this and do that when I have somebody right here with me? What was the purpose behind it? So I look at all those different things. Even when you find yourself in a situation while you're at work and you're dealing with work life and work seems to have you down. You want to act out of character sometimes. You want to let your hair down. You want to say and speak your mind sometimes when somebody do you wrong. Listen, I understand. I get it. But can't allow yourself to get to that point. And that's where I'm at right now. Like I said before, when I was in my 20s, I was moving and scooting, going around, doing whatever I could do, going to the club, going partying, enjoying life. Do I enjoy life now? Absolutely. But I have a different way of making that means. I tend to allow myself to learn more, study more, try to see if I can enlighten this mind of mine. Like, what knowledge can I obtain where it can be beneficial to me, but not only beneficial to me, but it can be beneficial to somebody else. So the knowledge that I have, I can present it to somebody else and they can understand and learn something better. I'm big on helping our youth. Our youth are struggling. They're struggling so hard. They're struggling so bad right now. And it is turning into a big disaster. School shootings, fights all the time. Uh, we had that back then, but now it's getting to a whole different level. And how can I impact those youth to change those ways? Was at a football game at the school that I work at, and literally was about to have something go down. That role model, be that leader. Look, not here, not now. Mm-mm. Take that somewhere else. Nope, we can't have this. How should you be acting? What should you be doing? You know me. We gotta do better than this. This is not the type of atmosphere that we need to be setting. Not right now, not in no football game. Negative. And so I allowed myself to remove some of the people and that toxic atmosphere that was being set, that was about to turn into a fight, that was about to turn into much more than just a fight. I allowed that, and I said, you know what? I need to step up to the plate. Step up to the plate, diffuse the situation. People that were in the gangs, they moved, they went other places, they did what they needed to do. And law enforcement was looking at me like, wow, I tried to get people to move and they weren't moving. So I appreciate you. I was like, yeah, that's the connection. When you have connections, when you have an ability to relate to others, they'll listen to you. So one of the things I do is try to relate. I try to relate. If I can relate to you, it can be impactful. If I can relate to you, it can build you. If I can relate to you, it'll shift your whole mindset. But what am I relating to you for? What am I doing? Am I doing it to cause harm or am I doing it to better you? That's one of the things that I'm trying to do is better people. So when I give them a perspective, when I give them a thought, have them ponder on it and really look at it and say, you know what? You right about that. Let me fix that. Let me adjust that a little bit. Let me adjust this a little bit. Let me tweak that a little bit. And then when they tweak it, guess what? They see things changing. So my students, they're getting good grades now. First they was skipping class. They were doing things that were unseemly. And I was like, yo, what you doing? We gotta fix this. And I tell them my story, tell them how I was, tell them my background. And I say, look, you don't need to be that way. This is how you should do it. They listen. Some of them graduated already. Some of them about to graduate. I'm excited. I'm happy. Seeing some of the kids that I taught when they was in elementary school and now they're in high school. I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's do big things. Let's show this. Let's show the world that we're not a statistic. Let's show the world that we can do better. Let's show the world what we can do. And so I myself am being an example for that, trying to show my children that, listen, if I can do better, you can do better. And if you can do better, you'll make a great impact on the people. That's one of the things I've been doing. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate the time that you have spent. Now I ask that you subscribe so that way you can be here, get the lives, and I can talk to you. I won't always be talking to you from behind the desk. I may be talking to you out in the open somewhere. I also may be talking to you at a Walmart or something. You never know. I may go live and just boom, do it from there. But this time I went live to talk about my book, to also see what's up with this Fri-Yay, see what you're doing. When you get a chance, comment on this, send up a little message, say how you doing. I'll respond back to it. Trust me, I will. I'll respond back to it. Let's get a conversation going. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, please remember, I believe in you. I'm going to say it again. I believe in you. Peace.